Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Mo, and I'll show you this book I wrote a few years back. It's called "Out of the Cheese Box: A Mother's Lessons, in Faith." It's written by me, Maurice Troop. It is available on Amazon if you want to, look into buy a book. I'm going to read chapter one of my book. Once again, this book is called "Out of the Cheese Box: A Mother's Lessons in Faith." It is available on Amazon. I'm going to read chapter one. It's called "Government Checks, Butter, and Cheese." I don't know if some of y'all know about the government checks, the butter and the cheese. I don't know if some of y'all know about that, but in my household we knew about it, so that's how we were raised. It says it was probably once a month that our mother would come home with a couple of bags filled with basic survival foods from a place that gave away free foods to families that were in need. We knew them as the free food in our house. Those brown bags or boxes never seemed to contain any items that children would like to eat, such as cookies, candy, or quick foods that didn't take any preparation. The bags were filled with cans of beans, bags of rice, boxes of pasta, powdered milk, and other foods that were more important and meant to nourish a family and keep you surviving. As always, our mother dropped the bags on the table and instructed us to put the food away. I enjoyed taking the foods out of the bags and strategically putting the food away so they could fit in with the food that was already packed away in the cabinets. Sometimes the cupboard would need rearranging so that all the foods would be able to fit. Packing and repacking these foods into the cupboards required patience, a good eye, and a plan. Performing this task was something I enjoyed. Now, out of all the foods, there was one food in particular that I did very much enjoy. The food that I'm referring to came in a long cardboard box with a long top that covered the item. Inside the box, the item was wrapped in plastic. This was my favorite. It was the good old block of government yellow American cheese. It was a huge foot-long block of American cheese. It was long and in the shape of a rectangle. This is what my family knew as cheese until I was probably 13 or 14 years old. The block of cheese was not cut into slices like smaller packs of cheese that might be purchased at a market. It was one long slab of cheese. Now I am quite sure that there was a slicing tool that could have been used to cut the cheese into perfect slices. In our house, we didn't have that tool. We used a regular kitchen knife to slice the cheese. Although effective, cutting the cheese with the knife did present a problem because the cheese was so thick. We used what we had. The sheer thickness of the block of cheese made it very difficult to cut the cheese into perfectly straight slices. Cutting these slices with a knife was an adventure and often left us with a curvy slice of cheese. Nevertheless, the cheese was very good cheese once it was cut. Our mother used the cheese in making many things such as grilled cheese sandwiches, cheeseburgers, salads, cheese for macaroni, and many other things that cheese could be used for. Sometimes the best of the cheese was just to slice pieces of it and eat it plain as a snack. It had a great taste for something that was given for free. We learned to appreciate the cheese that came in the brown box. I know it was tasty because many of the people that grew up in the neighborhood where I was have similar stories to share about the cheese. My family didn't know what a pack of individually wrapped packaged cheese was until I was probably in my mid-teen years. It was the long block of American cheese that provided all the cheese for my family. This gave truth to the statement, "Don't judge a book by its cover." To go along with the bags of food and the huge blocks of cheese that we got, our family also received food stamps from the government. Once a month, our mother received basically a ration of food coupons that acted as money to purchase food for our family. This was always an exciting time because at the beginning of each month, our mother would go shopping for groceries. She would either get a ride to the store with a friend, an aunt, or an uncle, or my father would take her. It was an awesome feeling when she arrived back home and we had to unload the car of all the bags. We knew that we were going to eat good for a while. Getting the food stamps was a good thing for our family at that time. The only thing about the food stamps is when our mother used to ask me to go to the store to buy some things that maybe she forgot or needed towards the middle of the month. This was a source of embarrassment for me at that time in a way because I didn't want people to know that we received food stamps. Amongst the kids in the neighborhood, being on food stamps was a source of embarrassment But the funny thing is that we all eventually came to find out that we all were living poorly and on food stamps. As we grew older, the feelings about food stamps went away. In my younger years, I would actually ask my friends to wait outside while I went into the store to get the items that my mother had sent me to get. I did this simply because I didn't want them to see me using food stamps. In those days, the stamps came in a book form that sort of looked like a checkbook. The stamps had to be ripped out of the books. I am thankful now that my family was able to receive that assistance when we needed it. Free cheese, bags of food, and food stamps was a way of life for my family. These things helped us to survive the worst of times. Even with these things, our mother never allowed us to be discouraged or to let our positive spirit diminish. She never allowed this way of life to take away her dreams of also being able to provide for her family through a successful career. We lived with the assistance of the government only as long as we had to. Our mother still maintained her dreams and goals in life. I am deeply thankful that the system did exist, but I am more thankful that my mother used it for its intended purpose, and that was it. Our house may have been poor financially, but we were rich in spirit. So this is chapter 1 of my book called Out of the Cheese Box, A Mother's Lessons in Faith. I have this book available on Amazon. I wrote this book, several years back, but if you're interested, it is available on Amazon. And hope you enjoyed chapter 1. Post some comments about your experience, if you had any experience with government cheese, bags of free food, and food stamps. Post a good memory of this. Hey, this is Mo again. Thank you guys for listening.